another passenger's bag and tried to walk off with it.
Oh, that's my... Hey.
That's yours. Where's your bag at?
I don't consent to search, sir.
You don't have to consent. Where's your backpack at?
And so I thought the plane was going to take off because we were well past the kind of gate closing time at the time he boarded.
You want to watch the dog?
Yes,
you want
please.
To sit in your seat?
I would like to watch the
Then
dog.
come out. It's up to you, man.
Well, I followed him off the plane because he had my backpack, and I wasn't going to leave an airport with my work laptop, my passport, a lot of my documentation from work, and so I didn't have a choice.
The agent again insists that he does not need David's consent to take his bag.
This one has a serious plot twist. This has to do with a drug enforcement agent at the airport bullying. Alright, now, this has to do with a DEA caught red-handed with some airport intimidation. He was at the airport intimidating people, bullying them to look into their private stuff. What most don't know, that is consensual, which means you can say, no, I don't consent, and they can't search you. They really can't. But a lot of people are under the impression that they have to do these things. This is very intrusive. This is invading your privacy. At its best, it's fishing. We know what's gonna happen when you fishing. You leave the rod in the water. No diddy. You know what's gonna happen. Eventually, a fish is gonna get caught on the hook. This is what they're hoping for. So with that being said, if you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit that notification bell. Let's see how this is about to play out right here. Was the DA agent in the right or was he in the wrong? Y'all let me know in the comments. Let me stop wasting your time. Let's go ahead and press play.
I think it became kind of more and more shocking as he began to be very aggressive towards me when I declined his search. I am the government was his quote there.
Where's your bag at?
I don't consent to search, sir.
You don't have to consent. Where's your backpack at? Where is it? Under your seat?
It got put away, but I don't consent to being searched.
I don't care what this is.
Now that's wild. Sounds like he makes the law, right?
For years, the Institute for Justice has represented innocent travelers who had cash illegally seized from them at our nation's airports. Often acting on little or no information, Federal Drug Enforcement Administration agents target certain travelers and bully them into letting their bags be searched. Recently, a flyer captured the DEA's unconstitutional tactics on camera. This is the most complete footage we have ever seen.
Set your bag down and then you can walk on the plane. You can do that, but you can't take your bag.
You're not with the, what do you call it? I've seen these like videos on YouTube before. You're not with the...
I'm the DEA. I'm the government.
Y'all let me know if I'm bugging or not, but you could definitely see he has control problems. He likes to control any and every single thing that he really can't control. And that right there is an issue in itself. Also, you can tell he has a very big ego. If you don't listen to his commands, you must sit and lay just like a dog and only play when he lets you know that you can go play. What kind of life is that to live? This is what you call jetway robbery, and this is not cool. They are definitely fishing for money because if you remember, there was a point, I believe it was either rapper T.I., if not him, it was definitely a rapper who most people said he was becoming belligerent, but what they were doing was unconstitutional. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Drugs in my bag. What are you talking about?
So you searched your
You want
own
to look
bag.
in here?
Am I
No,
searching
you
your bag?
asked me could you search
No,
it. So I
no.
searched it for you.
You don't lie to the camera,
Man,
man.
don't lie to the camera. You walked up and picked me out.
You-
Get away from me.
You searched
You
your
picked
own
me
bag.
out, man.
You searched
You
your own
picked
bag.
me out.
Answer the question.
Are you serious?
Be real and don't lie.
What do you mean, be real? You
Don't
be
lie.
real.
$2 billion. That is how much federal agents have seized from people who have taken cash inside an airport. And get this, Charlotte Douglas International Airport ranks as the 10th highest for cash seizures in the nation.
Now, the Fed seized $55 million from passengers there from 2000 to 2016. As Fox 46 chief investigator Jody Barr explains tonight, prosecutors rarely charge anyone with a crime, but the government kept the money anyway.
That's great. Do you have like legal ability to search
Yes,
right now?
yes.
I was in Cincinnati on a business trip and I got sick the prior night, so I had to rebook my flight to a last minute flight back to New York. He had basically just asked me for ID and to search, if he could search my bags. And when I started to decline, he pulled out his badge and said that he was with the DEA. I'd almost imagine that this had to be some kind of mix-up.
After David refused consent to the DEA agent, he should have been allowed on his flight. But the footage shows that the agent instead chose to double down on violating David's rights. The DEA agent claimed that he could keep and search David's bag. But that's just not true. The Fourth Amendment protects the stuff in your bag just as much as the stuff in your pockets.
I told the officer, I've seen this on YouTube before. This is a very weird thing. I'm aware of what you guys are doing right now. I was scared that he would do something worse with my bag in his custody. So when he threatened to take my bag to, back to the police area, wherever he was going to take it, I was worried that he might do something worse, like plant evidence within my bag, which would be the absolute worst case scenario.
Am I being detained right now?
Not you, but your
Am I
bag.
free to go?
Not you, but your bag. Yeah.
Am I being detained? But am I free to go?
Timeout. David was completely within his rights to refuse to let his bag be searched, but it is risky to simply ignore law enforcement officers and board your plane. Before leaving an encounter with law enforcement officers, we recommend asking if you're being detained. If they say yes, cooperate with the officer's lawful commands, and if they try to take your bag away to search it, do not attempt to resist with force or violence, but do not say you consent. If they say no, then you're free to leave.
Yeah, she has a big point right there. As long as the camera catches you saying you don't consent, whatever they find at that point right there is out the window when it goes to court. They can't even use it against you. Even if the jury heard it, the judge will tell the jury, disregard what you just heard, that's null and void. You understand? But you have to make sure you do this. You can't become belligerent, irate, and start using violence like she's saying. You gotta just play it cool. You about to have a nice lawsuit. Don't mess it up.
Now back to the action. The agent then followed David onto the plane, grabbed another passenger's bag, and tried to walk off with it.
Oh, that's my. Hey.
That's yours. Where's your bag at?
I don't consent to search, sir.
You don't have to consent. Where's your backpack at?
And so I thought the plane was going to take off because we were well past the kind of gate closing time at the time he boarded.
Wow.
You want to watch the dog?
Yes,
you want
please.
To sit in your seat?
I would like to watch the
Then
dog.
come out. It's up to you, man.
This guy's a wild boy.
Well, I followed him off the plane because he had my backpack, and I wasn't going to leave an airport with my work laptop, my passport, a lot of my documentation from work, and so I didn't have a choice.
The agent again insists that he does not need David's consent to take his bag. But without probable cause of a crime, DEA agents cannot seize your belongings against your will. Period.
Okay, so when you buy a last minute ticket, we get alerts. We come out to any and all flights. Doesn't matter who you are, race, sex, nothing, right?
Yeah,
we come
really?
out and we talk to those people, which I tried to do to you, but you wouldn't allow me to do it.
Am I
Which smells-
under suspicion of a crime right now? Do you have probable cause?
So we have a lot of money and drugs going out of every airport
Understood.
to New York.
Okay.
It's an influx of it.
Okay.
Okay? So that's my...
Am I being suspected of a crime? I just want to speak.
I
What
don't
airport
know.
is this?
The DEA hires informants to alert agents when someone purchases a last-minute ticket to a known center of drug activity.
Oh, really?
Which is most major American cities. Of course, buying a last-minute ticket isn't probable cause of a crime. That's why the agent keeps refusing to identify any crime that David is suspected of.
I see what's going on now. In actuality, he is only there because this guy, this flyer, ended up purchasing a last minute ticket. That's good to know. So that means if you purchase a last minute ticket, they're gonna put you on a red flag list. I don't know, on a blacklist. You let me know. Like, that's insane right there. But that's good information to know. Make sure you write that down.
If you have to take a last-minute flight for work or to visit a sick loved one, guess what? You'd be on this list too.
Do you have probable
Wow.
cause for a search?
I have probable cause for a dog to walk up and smell your bag. Yes.
This-
That-
like, how my lawyers are going to be taking this up with
You
you.
didn't take your bag off like I asked you to.
I
And all I
don't
was asking
have
you to do
to.
is
I
set
asked
the
you if I was
bag
being
down.
detained, and I can walk away if not.
You can, yes,
I
but not
followed
your
the
bag.
Constitution.
Your
like
bag
How
is
not
yours.
his bag?
I
This
asked
is
you to put your
property.
bag down.
You don't have rights to my bag. I don't know who you are.
So I was waiting by the jet bridge for about 5 minutes, and I remember seeing the dog handler pop up through one of the kind of airport gates. And at first, he pointed the dog towards my bag, and the dog took a smell and just ran straight past it. A few seconds later, he started, clicking his fingers, and the dog started coming back, and I saw him basically gesture at my bag.
Of course. I think they train these dogs to just hit anything. Yeah, he's telling it to go there. The guy behind him noticed a bunch of BS.
The Supreme Court has held that agents can't extend a traffic stop to make someone wait for a drug dog unless they have probable cause. The same should hold true at an airport. And it's not like drug dogs are infallible. In fact, dog searches have a high false positive rate. As it turns out, man's best friend is often more invested in pleasing their handler than anything else.
You want that treat or that toy.
Now let's use your legal right. You can allow us to look at it, or you can tell me no, and we can write a search warrant. We can apply for one. I don't know if we get one or not, but we'll apply for one.
I don't consent to being searched.
So you don't want us to search your bag either?
Don't consent to be searced.
Okay. All right. Well, then we got to take your bag back. So do you want to sit with us at the PD?
If he doesn't consent, how are you taking it?
What do you want to do?
I don't consent to being searched, sir. I'm sorry.
With the questionable dog alert, the agent now claims that he can easily get a warrant to search the bag. David continues to refuse to consent to a search.
We know our law. We know what we're doing out here and what we can and cannot do. Okay. It's a piece of paper that will literally stay with us. It just says that you're allowing us to search it. If you want to sign your name that says that we can search it, which I don't know why it's so difficult, we'll search it. If not, we're going to do the same thing I just told you. I'm not going to repeat it.
You see, y'all better be careful out here. When they make you sign something, you're basically signing all your rights away, and there's no lawsuit and there's no wrongdoing because you are consenting at that point. Make sure you stay strong like this guy right here. You understand? Stay on your toes. Don't fold.
Think about it for a minute. I know you're irritated. I have a phone. I know you're annoyed. And I'm annoyed too that you caused such a scene for something so silly.
Defending your constitutional rights is not silly. If something like this ever happens to you, visit ij.org and let us know.
In the moment, I felt extremely violated by his actions. I felt extremely angry and extremely shocked by what happened.
The law actually doesn't distinguish between bodily property. I'm being detained now because my bag is taken. My property is
You're not out in the public. You're in an airport, and
this is a public area for what it's
your
worth.
Bags are not. They're different than your person. Okay?
What? He's just making things up. Yeah, just like a car. Like what?
We wouldn't do this and be doing it across the country if it was illegal.
Yeah, all right. Wow.
I think over the past few months, as the anger has dissipated, it's been a feeling of just, privilege in the sense that nothing had happened to me, but injustice for those where something much worse had happened to them.
What happened to David was illegal, but sadly it occurs every day at America's airports. The reason? Something known as civil forfeiture.
This goes beyond the airports, all right? They run up in your house and forfeit whatever they can. So if you get into that bag and they want to snatch it and you have no way to show where the bag is coming from, they're going to seize it. And at the airport, it's the best place to do it because you always have millions of people traveling. You understand? So, like I said, they're fishing, and when you fish, you end up catching a fish on a hook.
It is completely legal to travel domestically, as David was, with any amount of cash.
It is completely legal to travel domestically, as David was, with any amount of cash.
But agencies like the DEA seize cash anyway. Why? Under civil forfeiture laws, they get to keep the lion's share of any cash they can seize and successfully forfeit.
Wow.
So if David had been flying with a large amount of cash, the agent would have seized it, just like what happened to our clients Rebecca Brown, Stacey Jones, Kermit Warren, Jerry Johnson, Rustam Kasazi, and others. In fact, the DOJ Inspector General warned the DEA nearly 10 years ago that these type of searches threatened civil rights. Despite these warnings, the lure of millions in civil forfeiture dollars has caused these gross violations to continue nationwide. Agents often deceive flyers, saying jetway searches are just part of regular airport security. They threaten to make passengers miss their flights unless they consent. They seize money without alleging any crime. The money they take through civil forfeiture then flows into funds controlled by law enforcement agencies, not Congress. It's wrong, and IJ is working right now to stop it with a class action lawsuit against the DEA.
I don't think I would do anything differently. I would certainly record the situation.
He was calm though.
When I recounted the story to other people, nobody believed me until I showed them the video. I think the second part about this is to have a bit of conviction in your rights and to understand them well. What happened to me was wrong, and knowing that this happens to a lot of other people, I feel that sharing my story will hopefully make a difference in the process.
I hope it does, because we all fly a lot. That was definitely a wild one right there. If you ask me, they're out just to get money. They don't care about the drugs. They can't do nothing with the drugs. Or maybe they can. They're going to put it right back in the street because they're about making money. So they'll definitely probably sell it to someone underhandedly so they can try to get another person. You understand what I mean? So I never get that. I don't even understand how snitching works. Like, okay, two people did the same crime, then you use one against the other, leave him out to get him. What do you think he's gonna do eventually in the long run? Like, let's be serious. You're not fixing anything like that. So listen, they need to change their ways because we tired of this right here. Let me know in the comments what you think. Were they in the right? What would have you done? Let me know in the comments. What would have you done? Let us know, all right? Let us know in the comments. With that being said, if you like videos like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.